Good morning and welcome back to the channel and this very warm, muggy Monday morning. I realise it's been a little while since I did a sit-in chat and talked to you about hobby and that, and I thought today's the ideal opportunity. Apologies if you can hear any background noise where people drilling or lawnmower noise. My neighbours today in our little cul-de-sac and that have decided that today's the day where we're going to do all DIY and all outside work. That next day. Apologies for that. But I want to start this video off by saying, on behalf of Mel, Jamie and myself, a huge thank you to you all who've subscribed to our channel right away from day one all the way to now and hopefully beyond into the future. We noticed at the weekend and that we've gone over the 1500 subscriber count, and we are just totally blown away by your level of support and that you've shown us up to this point, and hopefully you continue to do so and continue your journey along with our journey in this hobby, and that has been absolutely brilliant. A public thank you also goes to Fraser, that's one Ketteringham, for giving us a shout out right from the word go and getting our feet on the ground and getting us going and that right at the start. So again, huge thank you for your support there, Fraser, right from the word go, mate. So, what have we been up to and what have we been doing? Well, as you all know, we've been working on some ACW and we'll continue to do that. It'll be a slow burn project. We'll always dip in and dip out of that project, but for both sides, Confederates and the Union, adding units in, adding ancillary stuff in as we go along. So keep an eye out on the Facebook page and obviously here on YouTube and that when we put the videos together. But we've also done work on our fantasy armies. Now, Mel's been continuing working on her Sylvaneth army. Her showcase of her armies in one of our earlier videos down through the video lists. Jamie's recently done a video with his Beasts of Chaos army that we've been working on, and we're currently working on and finishing off my Ogre army. So that showcase will be coming soon. Well, it'll be part one of a two-part project, but more on that in that video. But yeah, as I said, so Mel's been working on a Sylvaneth. She's done some units which she's posted pictures on our Facebook page. So again, Facebook page in the link below, so go and check that out. But she's also been working on some, I think they're called Awakened Wildwoods. Now these are groups, so 3 trees grouped together as a make a wood section. And she's got 3 of those. These were painted, I remember, with Wraithbone undercoat and then using various shades of contrast to straight on the top of the Wraithbone and then dry brushed over the top just to pick out some highlights. So again, come up really, really well. Basing coverage is by Geek Gaming Scenics. I think it's their forest covering or forest floor covering. Really, really nice, really goes on well. Nothing else done to the base, just basically white glue, put that straight on the top. Comes out really, really well, as you can see. She's gone for an autumn theme. Now, obviously, when you look through the books, now you go autumn, winter, all various sorts of colours and themes and schemes, and you can paint them out, paint them what you like. It's your imagination, it's fantasy, do what you like. But she went for this like autumn theme, and I think it really works well. And you can see the whole army out with these now added to them. It looks really, really cool, and do like that. And again, it's something a little bit different. Recently, we also took a journey to Firestorm Games, talking about trees and forests. This is what sort of links onto that. And haven't been to their new site since, well, we haven't been to the new site. We haven't been to Firestorm since pre-COVID, so in their old site. And I have to say, the new site is really nice, and hopefully there's a picture on screen for you. Very airy and spacious and that inside. The only thing I would say is we went on a Saturday when they had an event on, and parking was at a very much a premium. But I think if you go there during the week or when there's not an event on at a weekend, ideal, get in there. Table space, gaming space, loads, absolutely loads. There's loads of tables from card games, board games, playing your normal war games, tabletop war games. There's loads of space for tables to play in there, lovely cafe in there as well. So again, in the shop's really cool. And that is where I picked up some of these. I hadn't seen these before. Woodland Scenic sort of flower trees. Ideal for test of honour for cherry blossom trees. I've been after some for a little while now, and I completely forgot about it. It wasn't until I was walking around the shop and I seen those 4, and I thought, cherry blossom trees, that'll do, add that in, test of honour, brilliant game, love it. And it just gives that little bit of extra sort of colour and a little bit of extra sort of thematic feel to the game, and that you see a couple of those dotted about on the table. Say test of honour is playing on a 3-foot mat, so again 4 of those dotted about with a couple of other trees and that. Brilliant, absolutely really, really cool, and a lovely terrain that you can get for that period also. I want to give a sort of a shout out now to Jim, that's Mary Hinge Jim, huge thank you to Jim. Jim was playing in a sharp practice French Indian Wars, that's it, French Indian Wars theme weekend, big recently. And he got in contact with me and he said, "Hey Lee, I'm playing it big this weekend. Are you free on the Monday on my finish?" So Jim came over to the bunker and we played a couple of games. Jamie and myself and Jim played a couple of games with him. We played our Charge of the Light Brigade game, as you can see pictures hopefully coming up on the screen now. Great games, all of us taking on one of the regiments, the cavalry, having to charge all the way down into the Valley of Death, you know, trying to avoid all the guns and get to the end. It's a donkey derby, but it's a good bit of fun. It's a set of rules I wrote a little while ago now, quite some time ago now. And again, like I said, you're trying to get down there, avoid the artillery giving you casualties, and at the same time competing against your fellow regiments, because obviously it's a donkey derby. But avoiding also the Cossacks and come up behind you, that's the other thing. So yeah, it was good fun. We played a couple of good games of that, a couple of rounds of that. There's a little league we had to go in, and yeah, very good fun. And the second game we played was a Rorke's Drift game. Now obviously many of you know I've spoken about it on the channel a few times. I've wrote a game system to play Rorke's Drift. It's actually designed, you can play the Anglo-Zulu War with it, but I've focused certain part of it actually at Rorke's Drift. And again, I've taken this game around to a few clubs and that now, get some feedback on it, and I've made it some tweaks to it. And I think I'm at the final stage now of just getting it out and just playing it now and then and see how it goes. And so again, I'm getting Jim down here trying the game out. It was really, really cool. He enjoyed to see him enjoy himself and that. It was a close run thing, but Jamie and Jim managed to just hold on to the drift long enough for the relief column to arrive. So yeah, it was good fun, really good laugh and that. And plenty of obviously the film Zulu quotes being shouted as we were playing. So yeah, huge thanks to Jim coming over, mate. Look forward to doing it again. So next up then we have one of our recent purchases is Uniforms of the American War of Independence. This is a great book, and that again, if you're interested in the period and that, and you're about to start the project, it's well worth getting a hold of this book. I think it's around £20, might be cheaper than that on Amazon. If I remember rightly, I think it's like £17.50 or something like that I paid for it. Yeah, very, very good. I believe there's a few others in the series which I'm also going to look at sort of purchasing, because again, I think they're very, very informative books and that, especially with all the colour plates. It covers all aspects of the arms and services of all nations throughout the war, from naval stuff all the way obviously through to your main armies, the French, the Hessians, and obviously the British and the Continentals. So again, very, very good. So naval stuff there, look. So I'm not going to go through it all, but you know, Jaeger's nice. But again, what I liked about this sort of book, and that gives you enough information that sort of whets your appetite, that you want to go on and have a little bit more research on other things. Some of the loyalist troops, the English regiments. And this is a project you'll see in the near future. I started a sharp practice project a few years ago now in 28mm, and we did some recent clear up in our stock room and come across them. So again, you're going to see the continuation of that project soon, so that's something to keep an eye out for on the channel. So there we are, that's there. But like I said, it really does give a good impression of what it will, the uniforms look like on the guys and how the kit is sort of worn. And again, goes through the little bits of the campaign and that, so it gives you a nice little bit of brief introduction of the period, really. I think, as I said, I think it's a really, really nice book, and certainly one worth looking into if you're looking into getting started in the period. So that's that one. So next up then we have Soldiers of Napoleon, done by Arturus Games, written by Warwick Kinraid. Now I do have the other rules that he's done, the Soldiers of God and Soldiers of Rome. They're great sets of rules and that. And having Piers on the live chat, one of our Sunday night live chats and that, and talking to him after the show about the rules and that, and I was quite taken with some of the things he said after the show. So it's been in the back of my mind for a little while to pick these up. And from what I've read and some of the reviews I've seen online, it seems very, very interesting in that. So it comes with a 56 action cards playing deck. Now I'll go into more of these cards in a bit, because I'll talk about a couple of things with them. But just to sort of take a little look through the rule book, I'm not going to go through it all, just going to sort of, if I get around the camera there, just sort of show you just in the inside of the book. It looks really interesting. The army list, the units look quite sort of simple, how you sort of play and how you maneuver. I mean, again, I think it's a very similar in feel for speed as Black Powder, but you know, again, with the cards, I like the card element to it. I'm not really keen on the Black Powder order system personally, but I do like how these cards and that work. That's the basic sort of army list sort of page. You build a brigade up and tells you what you can have, and that in there. Background on the periods. So it's quite a bit. I say that's the 6th coalition into now, 1813. Commanders of note for your games, unique units you can add in. Again, they're actually restricted. So I'm starting from the back going forward, but yeah, it's your morale types, reserve brigades, building an army, deploying your army. It's a very interesting looking game. How you deploy and set your army out for battle. Like I said, you know, if you wanted to play a pickup game, if you're playing a scenario from an actual battle and that, ideal, to be honest with you. I think that's to me, that's how I like to play most of my games. But again, if you want just a pickup game, there's lots of different ways of playing. Yeah, morale, again, handing out victory points to your opponent if you're having to take morale tests, and that was what I quite like. So again, it's about command. This game sort of seems to me it's built around the command and control, which again, another thing that I like about wargaming and that. And not being I think we as wargamers, we've been so used to being able to control everything, and in war you can't control everything, and that again is what I like about sets of rules like this. Beautiful photographs and that of nicely painted miniatures throughout the book, and it's really good. I'm quite impressed by what I've read of it so far. So like I said, it comes with a 56 cards action deck. Now here's the cards. I'm going to get them all out, but like you'll see in here, the cards sort of have 3. So I'm trying to get out of the way of the lights and don't get a shine on it. So you've got a big number at the top. That's the number of orders you can give to a brigade. So if you're lucky enough to, you know, if you draw this card, you can do that. Or as a special event, you can use it for the special event on the card. So insane carronade on a 5+, or deployed artillery batteries in the army, regardless of their position on the battlefield, are given the bombard order, immediately resolve their fire as normal. Or you can use this card to play as a rally. You can rally your troops and that. They get a lot of disruption points and that on them, which again I quite like, and I quite like the look of. I haven't really gone into too much depth. As I said, it's only recently come through, and I've only had a sort of quick scan of the actual book and that, so I can't really give you too much details, but I do recommend checking out those 2 reviews online. What I have done, these cards are not your standard Magic the Gathering card size. So you need to, if you want to sleeve them up like I've done, you need to get smaller card sleeves. And the ones I've gone for are these ones here. You can see it there. They're 57mm by 89mm. So again, and they fit the card sleeve quite nicely, so as you can see. So again, I will put those in together and do all them up, and get them all sleeved up. And then obviously, once they're all sleeved up, I'll put them there. I shall put them into a card deck box. So that'll be ideal. So that is Soldiers Napoleon. As I said, I ain't going to do a proper review or anything like that. It's just a flick through to show you what we've been purchasing. But I say that's a couple of books and a couple of those. And I have to say, yeah, really looking forward to getting those projects underway. So that's all we got for you at the moment, and guys, hope you enjoyed seeing this little chat, seeing what we've been doing and what we've been getting up to. We have got a new project to start soon. Nothing you can see here yet. There are, in fact, if anything, they're on a tray off camera. I will get those onto a video when we're about to start that, and I'll go through the project with you then. But suffice to say, and that I'm really excited for this one. Can't wait to get it started. It's an historical project, and yeah, looking forward to it. But until then, guys, thanks for sort of tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our sort of ramble. And until next time, guys, please stay safe. Happy wargaming.